Hi everyone, I am Melony Swasey. I'm a residential realtor in the Metro Boston area with Unlimited Sotheby's International Realty, and I head up the Good Boston Living team. Today I am with a dear colleague, Loan Officer Andrew Marquis with CrossCountry Mortgage. We're going to be talking with you about the interest rate environment right now that's happening around the country and has its own flavor in the Boston area, and how that actually creates opportunity for buyers in this current moment.
Yeah, so we're talking about Boston, we're not talking federally, and Boston has always been a very much a seller's market, I would say, in the last 10 years. We've had a situation where it's been very challenging for buyers to be able to purchase properties. There's not a lot of properties for sale in the Boston area. And I think what's different about the market right now is there's been a lot of rate hikes that we're going to talk about. And what the rate hikes have actually done is cooled the market a little bit and expanded opportunity for buyers to enter the market that maybe couldn't before.
Yeah, what we do know about Boston is that housing is in strong demand continuously. Jobs are fairly strong. We've got a very resilient jobs market in terms of the industries that people come here to work for. So that's universities, that's biopharma, for example, and tech.
Yeah, we were talking over lunch, and I recently was invited to hear a chief economist of an investment group fly in to speak with us about really the real estate market, what's happening throughout the country. And I was very pleased to hear that Boston on his radar was actually the strongest market. And what I mean by strongest market is less apt to see large price fluctuations in a downward way. And when we questioned him why is Boston unique in that capacity, he explained that it was really two things. It was mainly the inventory. And when we say inventory for you viewers, it's lack of homes, lack of supply of homes versus supply of buyers, right? There's just not enough housing to equate the buyers. There's not a match there, and so it keeps those prices high, and then rental prices are high.
Exactly.
So when there's not a lot of housing and your options are to rent or buy, it sort of puts a floor on home prices, right?
For sure. And so you can say broadly, this is still really a seller's market. Homes are selling if they're priced appropriately, if they're priced to reflect the current moment. Properties are selling very well and very quickly, and that is because housing is so hard to find, it's scarce. That's keeping rent prices high, and we expect that to continue in the coming year. So what does this mean for buyers who might want to leave the rental market and become a homeowner? Yes, interest rates are higher, but there actually might be an opportunity if what we're seeing is that housing is still limited, but there are some buyers hanging back and waiting. For those who are open to not hang back and wait, this might be a chance for you to dive in and get something done that you might not have been able to do when everyone else was flocking to buy 6 months ago, a year ago, and so on, like the last 10 years.
Yeah. I say that hindsight's 20/20, right?
Yes.
And if there's a situation where with this low inventory and rates go down in 2023 or 2024, I know we both feel strongly that could drive prices back up.
Yeah.
And so if the opportunity is to potentially purchase now at a slightly inflated rate, use one of these tools that we're going to talk about to be able to enter the market still and avoid some of that inflation in rates, and then potentially refinance if and when rates come down.
Yeah, and we know that because housing is limited and people still need to find homes and people still need to move, they still need to sell. What we know is that generally speaking, Boston area is a very strong, resilient housing market. And so if that is true, and if there are fewer people to compete with right now, this is your chance. What we don't want is for folks to look back in the coming 6, 8, 10 months and say, darn, there was my moment in the fall or in the winter of 2023 where there were fewer buyers out and about, interest rates were higher, but that could have been my chance. And so it's just an interesting moment that we're watching.
We haven't seen it in 10 years.
We haven't seen this kind of moment. So yes, interest rates are higher right now, but there are lots of mechanisms and ways to get an interest rate that's more accessible. And whatever rate you start with now, potentially be able to refinance in the coming year if and when the Fed project slows down and if in fact interest rates start to drop in the next year or two. So this is a moment to get in on the ground floor, maybe adjust and make your housing even more affordable in the coming year or two, but know that you got into a market that you might not have been able to otherwise.